Hi, this is Attorney Mike Irvin coming to you from Chicago as usual, and I've got a special one today. It's Ryan Alton. He goes by Ryan Esquire. I've done a couple of videos on him before, and I think this video is going to qualify him for his very own playlist. This is something special.
Listen. We've got a blind date with Destiny. And it looks like she's ordered the lobster.
Hello everybody, this is Ryan Alton, sovereign citizen. This is my channel. I want to be able to properly teach everybody step by step on how to effectively file for your UCC1, how to become a real sovereign, how to access your trust account.
I'm going to help you out here. You don't do any of that.
How to basically gain control of what is rightfully yours, your strawman account. And a lot of people don't even understand what it is.
Yeah, because it doesn't exist. It's a made-up fiction.
Or basically the fact that when your parents sign your birth certificate, they're basically putting you into a government system and creating a debtor's account. You're basically a debt. You're not.
Oh boy, I think he got the Kirk Pendergrass premium edition here. He's doing the full enchilada. Let's see how this goes.
Not even a person.
Oscar says hit like and subscribe. Well, and hit the bell notification. Thanks, Oscar. I always forget that.
When you basically go inside of a courtroom and you notice how there's all capital letters on your name inside those motions, they're addressing you as a corporate fiction. You're a corporation. You're not a human person. You're basically lost at sea or a dead person.
Wait. This is interesting. According to Mr. Alton here, in his infinite wisdom, he thinks you are either lost at sea, dead, or a corporate fiction. And you had no idea until now.
There are a lot of ways that you can go about doing this.
All of them are silly.
But first, I want to be able to explain to you that I am an attorney. I'm sorry, I'm a lawyer. I'm not an attorney.
You're neither one.
I want people to know there's a big difference between a lawyer and an attorney. A lawyer.
No, there isn't.
A lawyer is somebody that has knowledge of the law, someone that practices the law.
You can't really practice the law in the United States unless you're licensed. It's just the way it is. You can study it. You could be knowledgeable on the topic. That's not a lawyer. That's a person knowledgeable in law.
Someone that is not allowed to represent you in court. And I want you to understand when somebody like an attorney does represent you in court, they're basically saying that they're you. They speak for you. They are you.
No, they're not saying that. They're saying they're an attorney and they have a client. They're saying that you are their client. Yes, they speak on your behalf, but no one's confused in thinking that you've morphed into your client when you're in court.
So everything that they say, you're saying. They have the right to speak for you. A lawyer does not have the right to speak for you. A lawyer is a practicing attorney that knows the law or is practicing what the law is and basically is establishing a sense of what the law really is. And I've been going to the court system for quite some time now, about over 10 years. I've learned so much.
Yeah, and it hasn't been going well for you over there. Not only has it not gone well for you, but you've posted videos to that effect. So there's ample evidence provided by you.
I am in school right now, finishing up my bachelor's degree. So I'm not in law school yet. I am working on my bachelor's, this is my last year, and then I'll be going off to law school. There is a lot of things that I've learned in the court system.
Conjugation not being one of them.
And I want to give you some valuable information. One would be that when you go inside of a traffic court or, a criminal court, or anything that has to do with like a corpus delicti, which is like an injured party. It's just a law term. It's a different language, basically.
Yes, it's Latin. It means a body of evidence, and it doesn't mean what you think it means, and it's irrelevant most of the time.
They always tell you, the judge always asks you, how do you plead? They want you to plead either not guilty or guilty, right? Well,
yes, when you're charged with something, the first thing they have to do is arraign you on the charge, read you the charge, and then ask if you plead guilty or not guilty. That's the process we have. The corpus delicti or all the stuff he's saying is not needed. What is needed is that a charge was brought by a police officer in the case of traffic citations, or a prosecutor in the case of more serious things.
Well, obviously you'd say not guilty. That's what most people would do. That's what remotely anybody would do, I guess, in that situation, right?
I've seen a lot of people plead guilty. Okay.
But they don't tell you one thing. There's not just only a not guilty or guilty plea. You could actually challenge their jurisdiction right up front.
Yeah, the reason why they don't tell you that is because it's not true. Well, I mean, you can, but then you'll just get held in contempt, and then or have the judge redirect you and say, oh, that's not what we're doing right now. Bring a motion if you feel like it, but are you pleading guilty or not guilty? Because that's what has to happen at an arraignment.
Because once you say not guilty in the courtroom, you're essentially saying that a claim actually does exist. You're giving them jurisdiction when you say not guilty.
A claim exists. There's a charge against you, whether you plead or not. If you don't, they'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Your acquiescence is not required.
You're saying that the charges that they're bringing forth exist, and you're acknowledging that they exist by pleading not guilty. You're just trying to now say that either you didn't do it, or you're trying to find a way out of the charges that have been brought against you. But filing a jurisdiction motion, a challenge jurisdiction,
is a complete waste of time in most circumstances.
And basically telling them the basic 7 elements of jurisdiction. Number 4, by the way, is somebody that is an accuser that cannot be an agency. It cannot be a police officer. It has to be some physical, identifiable person, an actual citizen, that comes to court and signs a complaint against you. So an accuser has to come to court. And I want to...
No, it doesn't. I mean, all you have to do is think about speeding tickets, for instance. 99% of the time, that's because they got you on radar, and it's the police officer. There's no independent witness saying yes, that guy was exceeding the speed limit. It's just the police officer, and yet there are speeding tickets issued every day, and people found guilty on them every day.
I want to let you guys know once again, it cannot be an agency, a police officer. It has to be
based on what? Nice that you're making this assertion, but what is your authority for such assertion? Please don't tell me it's Kirk Pendergrass.
some identifiable person. And they don't want you to know that. So anytime you go in front of a courtroom that has a traffic violation, the police officer is the accuser. And they know that they're not supposed to be the accuser.
No, they don't. They've been doing that for a long time, and they know that they are supposed to be the accuser in that circumstance. That is their job, among other things. But for traffic control purposes, that's exactly the way our system is set up, and it's perfectly legitimate.
So what you're supposed to do is supposed to file the jurisdiction motion, and you have to let them know and break down what the 7 elements of jurisdictions are.
Yeah, okay, let me see a win. I hear this constantly. Sometimes you invade my comments with this nonsense. Not most of my viewers, but your occasional troll. Show me a win on this nonsense jurisdiction argument. Show me one.
And it's really vital to let them know that number 4 states that there has to be an accuser. There has to be. And when there's not an accuser, they don't have jurisdiction. It means that there is no criminal case being taken place, or there is no valuable complaint.
Ryan, I don't know where you're going to school, buddy, but yeah, token is you said it in the other video too. You gotta stop. I actually feel sorry for you.
This automatically gives you grounds for dismissal, automatically. And what I could do, obviously not in this video, but what I could do is display a tutorial on how to actually file a motion to challenge jurisdiction in a traffic court, or this could help a lot of people. It's very beneficial.
Show us a win. Show us one time somebody filed a motion challenging jurisdiction because there wasn't an accuser and a judge who granted it. Show me one. If that happens, there is an order saying motion to challenge jurisdiction is granted. Stamped by the judge. Show it to me.
In criminal court too. So let's say you're getting charged with a drug offense, possession of narcotics or a controlled substance or any kind of drug. When there is not an injured party, which there never is in a possession charge, you shouldn't be getting charged with a criminal offense.
That's a policy argument. It's not law. The elements of those offenses exist. People are being prosecuted on them every day. They have for years. They will continue for years in the future. I mean, it's cute that you would like to change the rule to that. I think it's a horrible idea. But if you want to change the rule to that, you're going to have to change legislation. The current law is that, and it will be for the foreseeable future.
There needs to be a injured party, and there isn't when it comes down to those type of criminal cases. Now, these types of gray areas in the law that I utilize.
These aren't gray areas. This is well-established law. Possession of narcotics is a crime. If the prosecutor can establish that you possess narcotics, a scheduled substance in any amount, you can be charged with it and convicted of it. Happens every day.
Against the system will not work when there is an accuser. I want to remind you that. Let's say you've damaged some property, you've stolen some property, you've kidnapped somebody, you raped somebody, you beat somebody up, you killed somebody. Anytime there is an injured party involved that is going to come to court as the accuser and point you out inside of a courtroom alleging that you committed such crimes, these common law, the common law will not be sufficient enough in.
Common law will not be sufficient enough. Oh, Lord.
Inside these courtrooms, you can't use it. It's just not going to work. The law of the land is common law, and when you go inside these courtrooms, you're in Admiralty courtrooms. It's the law of the sea.
Admiralty? Oh, here comes the vessel.
It's international contract law.
Wrong.
So whenever you sign like an identification card or a driver's license, you're entering into a contract with the state.
That's all state code, all of it. The criminal code is state law in every state in the country. The traffic code is state law in every state of the country. He's arguing that it shouldn't be or something like that, but that's just not the case. That's the law that applies. It applies via the 10th Amendment, and all these arguments are complete losers.
And you're essentially giving up your rights when you do that, but they don't tell you that. So these contracts are through deceit, and that is also a way you can get out of these traffic tickets as well, is by acknowledging to the court that you were not aware of such contract, that you did not enter such contract willfully, voluntarily, or knowingly, or intelligently, and you were not aware that you were essentially giving up your right to travel, which is something that you have a right to do. It's a liberty.
I want to see your driving abstract. Well, let's see that. I want to see how clean your driving abstract is. I want to see that since you have all of these bulletproof arguments, I want to see a clean driving abstract for you showing no tickets, no convictions of anything ever. That's my challenge to you.
Civil liberty. Now, it's not an amendment. People need to understand that there is a big difference between the 14th Amendment or the Freedom of Movement Amendment. That it's different than the civil liberty right to travel. It's completely.
I don't know about any Freedom of Movement Amendment. The right to travel is not expressly stated in the Constitution. It's implied in case law after the fact. I don't know what he is talking about.
Different. Just like you need a license to do business, to make
and to drive a car, even if you're not doing business.
Money. And that is basically what you're doing when you're entering into these driver's license contracts. You're entering into a contract with the state saying that you're going to be using or occupying your vehicle for business, profit, compensation, fare, fee, or hire. Now, if you're not doing that, if you're not an Uber driver, if you're not a Lyft driver, if you're not a delivery driver, if you're not a taxi driver, you don't need a license. You don't.
Wrong. You need a license to operate vehicles on the public way. End of story. That's the way it is.
You don't need those plates. You only need a license when you are engaging in business for commercial purposes. You're making money. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it?
No, it makes no sense whatsoever. We have a commercial driver's license for people operating commercially, and then the regular driver's license that everybody uses is just to operate on the roads in the state.
Room, and you notice how the agency can get out of these traffic tickets as well. Business, to conduct business. Whenever you're making money, you need a license for that. So why do I need a license to utilize a right that I have? Because they're not allowed to.
Because your presupposition is wrong. You don't have a right to drive on the public roads in the Constitution, implied or expressed. Neither. Learn it.
To attach a fee, license, a right. They're just not allowed to do that. They are lying to a lot of people just to gain revenue. The driver's license is a huge revenue system for the courts and the police and all these agencies that work inside the city and the state.
Yes, part of the licensing procedure is to help pay for the roads. Mm-hmm. It's not a real big profit maker overall when you look at the expense that has to go in there. In fact, it really doesn't cover the cost of the roads. We have additional taxes on top of it. But so it's not the fun he thinks it is. Yes, between fines and license fees and everything, they do generate some revenue, but they expend a lot of revenue in obtaining that. And the purpose of it is truly for the upkeep, maintenance of the roads, and safety.
They rely on this kind of stuff. It is a cash cow system. People need to understand that. And during my next video, I'm going to be able to explain to you and give you a tutorial on how to file these motions, what case law you could use that's very beneficial for your case, like as far as the Supreme Court overturning convictions already, saying that there is no requirement for a driver's license. There's also case laws giving you the right to travel.
There is no case laws. There's case law on various things, but the cases are quite clear that you have to have a driver's license to drive. It's all over the place, and there's a right to travel between states. That also exists, but that does not imply that you can drive on the roads without a license.
It's just mountains of case law. I can't recite them off the top of my head, but
yeah, because it doesn't exist. There's mountains of it, but he can't name one.
There are, there's over like 100 of these, and there's a lot that actually have been done in Cook County.
There are exactly 0 cases suggesting what he's saying.
And they're very, very beneficial. And I get really tired of most of my channel is comical for entertainment. But
it is.
I really want to be able to explain to people how this really works.
I'm sure you'd like that, but since you don't know how it works, it's going to be difficult.
And how it's been working for me and how it can work for you.
It won't.
And this information is so valuable that it should be known to everybody. And I want to be able to get people to actually believe this stuff, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people...
I for one, don't. Just saying.
People are brainwashed, controlled by the media. They have absolutely no mind of their own. They believe whatever they've been told. And if it goes against what they've been told, it doesn't make sense to them. Or it's not true. It's not factual. They don't believe it. And it's a shame.
I don't believe it.
Why do you... I mean, these attorneys need licenses now, but when Abraham Lincoln was a lawyer, he didn't need a license.
Yeah, things have changed.
Abraham Lincoln was a lawyer. Did anybody know that?
Oh my Lord! Breaking news: Abraham Lincoln was a lawyer. Yeah, we're aware.
The attorney is for a bar association membership card. Okay, it's a corporation that they've made to basically make money off people. And going back to the UCC1, you could gain access to your strawman, to your trust account. Your trust account is your birth certificate when they sign you over to the government so they can exchange money with foreign agencies, your debt to them, and they collect money off your name. They make money off your name. They borrow money off your name, and you can gain access to that account. And
you know what I really want is I want body cam footage of when he starts unrolling this stuff to a law professor if he ever makes it to law school. That would be beautiful.
You could claim your trust account and have full access to all the funds that is being used by the government for yourself. You can eliminate all your debts. You could basically go inside of an abandoned property, fix it up a little bit, and file a lien and claim it.
Oh yeah, you got magic money associated with your birth certificate. We don't know how. We don't know where the money comes from. But you just believe on faith that there's magic money associated with your birth certificate, and your best play is to access that and then squat on somebody's property illegally. Oh,
it is yours. I'll be able to go over that with you guys as well. Yeah. This video is just basically a start of what I will be doing. Instead of doing my typical comical videos.
Well, contrary. I think this is your typical comical video right here.
Because obviously it gets nowhere with my viewers. I just get a lot of negative reactions, and I'm tired of that. I actually want people to succeed at what I've succeeded. And
all right, I've got sincere advice for you. If you're tired of not being taken seriously, then make yourself worthy of being taken seriously. That's the truth.
The knowledge that I've gained, because it's truly inspiring, it's valuable and beneficial. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed my channel. My channel's name obviously is Ryan Esquire. My name is Ryan Alton though. And like I said, I'm a practicing lawyer. And I hope you guys can benefit from me. Thanks.
Wow. Well, there you have it. The whole enchilada of soft sit nonsense in a nutshell right there. Ryan's explaining it all to us. The whole straw man and everything else. Meanwhile, he's had lots of run-ins with the law. And I don't know if he'll do that. But he claims he wants to go to law school. In all seriousness, that would be great, because he would be taught that everything he's saying is wrong, or that's just it. He's not going to go and explain to these people that they're all wrong and have been for hundreds of years, because they're not. His problems with the law, and both in terms of criminal charges and filing frivolous lawsuits, would be a difficult hurdle to overcome to ever get licensed. Although he apparently doesn't think you need a license. He'll find out you do the day he tries to enter an appearance on somebody's behalf. Even calling himself Ryan Esquire, Esquire is a name for attorney. Right there could be taken as trying to practice law. He's here proclaiming that he's a lawyer. All of these things are just wrong and probably chargeable. But again, he's too small a fish for a prosecutor to take up this stuff. I mean, no one's taking him seriously, so there's really no problems with it. Here at Law Talk, we like to have fun with silly stuff that happens in court, and every once in a while, and completely by accident, I assure you, you might learn something. Thanks for watching.